Hey guys, welcome to another video. And I know it's been a while. I haven't been making a lot of videos, but the thing is that I got my foot fractured in the gym, so I wasn't able to make any videos because of that. And then after that, I had like exams and things just kept on flying left and right. I couldn't really get the time. But now I'll be making videos consistently, I assure you, alright? So first off, I'm working on something really great for you guys. I want to give it to you. It's a surprise. I will give it to you at the end of this video. It will help you out if you are thinking of applying, or if you are applying to any US university, any even Canadian university, right? Because that's really my main focus. I don't want to be too broad right now, right? So if it's the US or if it's Canada, it will help you out a lot, all right? I'm building something great for you guys. Stick to the end and I will show you a glimpse of it, all right? It's a surprise. Now, in this video, as you might have heard the title say, I'm going to tell you about all of my admits, all of my rejects, everything that basically, happened in the past few months, about my status, my application status, right? So let's actually go over that. But what, I just thought that a lot of people might be watching this video who want to actually kind of gain something from this video. Now what could you possibly want to gain from this video? You could possibly want to understand that, all right, if this is the kind of profile that gets into these universities, then maybe my profile will get into somewhere better than that, or somewhere a little lower than that. So you kind of want to plot a linear regression in this case. So what I actually did was that I contacted professors from various universities, right? Like where at least most universities where I got the rejects from, alright? I contacted the professors, I asked them why I got the rejects. Mostly the admissions committee doesn't really reply. They don't tell you why you got the reject, they don't tell you why you got the admit. So they cannot apply to, they cannot reply to individual queries, really. They just don't have the time because there's so many applicants, right? Now, because of that, I'm ready to give you something so good. I contacted these professors, alright? I wanted to understand why I got rejected, so I can bring that to you guys, alright? Now it's really important that you guys understand and you guys gain something from this video. So that's that, alright? You will gain that, you will understand that. Before actually telling you about which universities I got admits and rejects from, I want to tell you my profile so that you can understand really what kind of goes on and the courses I applied to and everything. I'll tell you about it all in detail, alright? So here's my profile, just a quick overview of it. I didn't really want to take a lot of your time with this, so I just quickly jotted it down for you guys. Right, so my GRE score is, as you can see, I have a 161 on the verbal section, 168 on the quant section. That makes a total of 329 out of 340. Great score. No professor actually told me, not even one single professor told me that this GRE score is the reason why my application got rejected. In fact, they said that this is probably one of the best scores that they actually receive for those admissions. Alright, so this is actually not the reason why I got rejected from any university, alright? GRE score was great. Every professor told me that is definitely not the reason. I asked them explicitly, is it the reason? Because, it's not, alright? And if you want to actually get this kind of score and you have a little lower score or maybe a lot lower score and you're not able to do that, stick to the end of this video, I will help you out, right? Next is the TOEFL scores. Right, now I have my TOEFL scores. I got a 119 out of 120. I got 30 in every section. That's the maximum number of marks you can get in every single section, except for the reading section, in which I lost 1 mark. So yeah, I kind of messed up over there, I guess. But of course, as you might understand, TOEFL is never the reason, of course, and at least with this kind of score, it won't be the reason, alright? So I have great scores over there. Now, I have a great CGPA. I'm actually the ranked number 1. Like I'm ranked number 1 in my department in this college right now, in the college that I'm studying right now, right? Not the university, I'm talking about the college. Okay, but however, my CGPA is great. You can see it's 9.2 out of 10. It's perfectly fine, alright? However, my university is IP University. Now, when I contacted professors, the main reason that they gave me was that, what? See, your profile is great. Everything looks great over here. You have great research. You have great. I'm going to tell you about my internships as well. You can read all about that later on. But I'm just gonna skim through it if you want to know. But basically, they said that what, we do not recognize this university so much. So it's really important if you have a university that is kind of a brand name, like the IITs, like the NITs. Those are the universities. Even VIT is very good. Like they've marketed it so well that people know of it. Right, even in the US, even in Canada. So definitely that is one big criteria that held me back. And if that is something that you have on your profile, don't get discouraged. You cannot change that now, of course, but still I got into pretty great universities, some of the greatest universities in the world, and you can see that in just a moment. Alright, so don't get discouraged because of that. But this is one reason. That's what I wanted to tell you about. Alright, second, research. Alright, I had, at the time when I applied, I had one research paper that was presented in a conference. It wasn't published yet, it was presented. It was really, it was in the process for publishing. It hadn't been actually published back then, right? Now it is of course published. Now it is published. Now I have that on that IEEE website. I can show it to anyone I want. But at that time, I only had presented it, right? So no issues with that. I actually wrote about that, I just explained that, and I still wrote about that when they asked me for the citation. I just told them that, this is the paper, you can find it at this link, but it's not been published yet. So yeah, yada yada, that's all. Right, next thing that you see is that I had one more ongoing research project. It was more in social media and social media research and how to protect the social media from hackers and all of that stuff. I was using some AI NLP kind of whatever. Don't want to get into details of that. You can check that out of course if you want in my profile. And yeah, these were basically my research projects, right? So most of my research was in data science and machine learning fields. Of course, those are the fields which I was getting so deep into back then because I guess I was just moving with the crowd, you could say, but I found them really, really interesting at the first as well. Like really, literally, they were really, really interesting to me. And then things kind of changed. But again, this research and all these things, I actually got into these things, and I kind of showed that to the university. Then there are some projects, right? Now there's a lot of projects. Actually, there are a lot of projects. Let me actually show you if you want to see my projects. This is my this GitHub Pages website, simple website. I think most of you have it if you're from the computer science department. If not, don't worry about it. Just a place to showcase my projects, right? So this is a simple website where I have all of my projects listed down there. Really, there's a whole lot of these projects right here, and you can actually see the demo of some of these. You can see the GitHub code, and you can do all of these things. Amazing projects I did back when I was I'm still in college, like final semester, but amazing projects. All right. Of course, after that I started a lot more. Like this is my resume, of course, right? After that I started a lot more new things. Like I started my startup, I started these things, all of these things kind of bundled up, but I never really showed those to the university. So I never showed that I have a YouTube channel. I never showed that I have an investment consulting firm. I never showed that I have really kind of like I was doing services, like I was helping people out with their statement of purpose, with their LORs. That was a paid process, of course. I wasn't really, because I was working one-on-one with these people, so I was doing these, for as a premium service. But really, a lot of those people did very well, really. Some of them got into great universities like UIUC, ASU, CMU, you name it. Like all of these great universities, they actually got into those, and they thanked me till date. But that's not the point. I'm gonna get to that later. But the thing is that, I was doing all of these things, but I did not mention them in my actual profile, right? Because back then maybe I wasn't even doing them, and when I was, I just didn't want to mention these because they would not really look good on my profile. So make sure whenever you're applying that your profile looks good, and you're not telling the university something that they shouldn't know, right? So alright, all these things, and finally you can see my resume over here. It's a simple resume, one-page resume, looks great. And I'll tell you all about it, how you can craft one like this, but yeah, this is a simple one. Alright, so now that we have quickly gone over my whole profile, now I want to talk to you about my admits, about my rejects, and about all of those things, right? So let me actually pop this right up. Alright, so alright, I have the decision dates, by the way. You can see when I got the admit, when I got the reject. Alright, you can see all of those things. I have noted down a lot more information over here, like all of these things. You don't need to know those, but these are the most important ones. All right, so I'm gonna give them to you one by one. So if you haven't seen this list, of course this was on my Instagram earlier, now it isn't, but if you haven't seen this list, here it is. Right, so I applied to University of Southern California, and I applied near December mid, okay, and I got the admit by 11th of January. It was really fast. This was the fastest admit that I got, and I got it in about 1 month. It was for Masters in CS. Alright, so this is from the University of Southern California, based in Los Angeles. Alright, next you see the UCB University, that's UC Berkeley. Alright, University of California, Berkeley, very good university, top 3, I think top 4 universities. I got a reject from this university, 2nd March. Right, now I tried to contact a lot of these professors from various universities. At times they wouldn't reply, at times they would, so I would come to know. But sometimes, I summarized the whole thing, that the research and the university name, those were the whole kind of shortcomings in my case. They might not be in your case, but kind of watch out for them. The more research, the better. All right. So UCB is definitely a very, very research-based program. Their masters in CS program. I applied for that one. So of course, I got rejected. I really didn't mind because I knew that it was really a very, very ambitious program for me, because considering from the research perspective, I did not have a lot of research on my profile when I was applying. One research paper that was only presented, the other one was still in process. I was still doing it, like the social media research. So again, I didn't have a lot to show for, right? Plus my university, of course, right? So that I got my reject on 2nd of March 2019. All right. Next is CMU. Right, I got my reject from CMU on 4th of March 2019. I applied for the Masters in CS program, very competitive program. Guys, one more thing, I'm doing something great for you. At the end of this video, you will see, you should always check the intake. How many people do they take in from all over the world? The program is, sometimes they take in 1,000 students, sometimes they only take in 300 students, sometimes they only take in 60, 70 students. Always take a look at the intake. I will give you a place where you can check the intake. Stick around. At the end of this video, I have something for you really good. All right. CMU, I got a reject from it. All right. I wasn't really very optimistic about this, I must say. All right. So that's one. I got it on 4th March. All right. So you can see that most of my admits and rejects start coming in March. Alright, next was Stanford. Alright, I just applied to it for my peace of mind. I knew I wouldn't get in, but I wanted that peace of mind, so I applied to it. 15th March, I got my reject from it. Right, after that, I got one from UBC. UBC is in Canada. That's the only Canadian university I applied to. Right, I got an admit from UBC. Again, this is the same CS program. I got it on 15th March. Alright, 15th March, I got it. Okay, now I had two choices, alright, USC and UBC. UBC being in Canada and USC being in, California. Alright, so let's see now. Alright, next is UIUC. I got an admit from UIUC. This was not their MSCS program. I just want to clear it out because a lot of you guys think that UIUC is one of the top 3 universities. This was not their core research based program. This was their master in computer science program. I think that's like a lot more industry based program. It's not the research based program, it's the industry based program. So that's UIUC admit right over there. I got it on 16th March 2019. At this point I was like really scared by the time it got to Stanford, because I was getting rejects. So I was like really scared, like what the hell is going on. But then I started getting these admits. I just started feeling a lot better about myself. Right after that, I got one from Cornell. This is in their Master of Engineering in CS. Again, this is more industry based. Cornell is in New York. A lot costlier, I would say, and probably not the place I would want to go to right now, I believe. But again, I will tell you about which university I'm going to and which I'm not going to. I have like a little bit of dilemma, but maybe you guys can help me solve it in another video, maybe after that, right? So this is again the industry-based program. Since I'm a lot into finance, I can actually consider Cornell, but it's really not for the location. I believe I have USC area is a lot better. For the Bay Area is a lot better for people who are trying to go for the CS degrees, right? That's USC is very close to that area, so I believe that's one great point for me. Anyway, after that I got an admit from UCSD, and that was in the CS program, but here I did not get any funding, of course not. By the way, I got a little bit of not really funding, but I got an opportunity at USC, so that's why I'm kind of a lot more inclined towards it. I got an opportunity at USC, like basically the professor actually told me that he has agreed to take me in for directorate research, so I'm really happy about that. Of course, if he's taking me in for research, he will be paying me some amount of money, some amount of stipend, so that might help in covering my fees. So that's why I'm a lot more inclined towards USC at this point. But again, I got an admit from UCSD, no fees rebate, no fees excluded or anything. Basically I have to pay the whole amount, right? That was on 3rd of April. So you can see that most of my admits start coming in March through April, slowly all over there. Alright, then I got a Purdue admit on 3rd of April. Again, Purdue CS program is also great. The fees is a lot lower as compared to some other universities, but yeah, I'm still considering this as well. Alright, I got this on 3rd of April. Alright, and finally I have like 2 more universities over here. NYU, I got an admit on 3rd of April. Again, 3rd of April was pretty good actually. I got like these 3 decisions, like 3 admits. Like it was like the best day of my life. Alright, NYU admit MSCS program, but again, NYU I just applied to be safe. It's a great university, but yeah, you probably know why I won't be going to it, right? finally, I have my UCLA reject on 10th of April. This was kind of disheartening. I was really looking forward to UCLA, but I got a reject from UCLA at on 10th of April. So yeah, there's no chance I'm going to UCLA anymore. But again, so these are my admits and rejects, and you can actually see, what kind of universities you can get with this kind of a profile. Of course, your SOPs should be top notch, your LORs should be top notch. All of these things should be right in place, because dude, I can tell you straight up, if I did not have the SOP that I had, if I did not have the LORs that I had, if I did not have all of those, other things apart from my profile that I showed you. Let me prop that. Alright, one sec. This is my profile, right? So if I did not have those SOPs, those LORs, like everything is considered, of course. So my research was not really great, but I believe a lot of it was made up by those LORs. Of course, I shouldn't admit it, but basically the thing is that I was the one writing those LORs as well. So it just happens like that. I know a lot of you people know how things work in India, how things work in most other countries. So professors do not want to take the burden and all of these things. So you should really take care of these things. If you have the chance to do that, make sure that you do the best version of it. All right, make sure that you build the best version of it, so that, dude, it's like a once in a lifetime chance. You're getting to do it by yourself, right? So make sure that you do the best version of it. All right, I have some great content on SOP writing, some LOR writing as well, clearing your doubts as well. So all of those things, I've researched a lot on this process, and because of that research, I was able to help other people with their SOPs, their LORs, their whole profile and everything. All right, so all of these things, you can see that this kind of profile gets you into those universities. Now at the end, I want to tell you about something really special that I have been doing for you guys right now. See, a lot of time you do not really think about the intake. How many people does this university admit into this program? All right, now take a look at Harvard. All right, let's take the example of Harvard. In their undergraduate program, they would be taking approximately 100,000 students. I think 96,000 students. That's their intake. So chances are, if you're applying to the undergraduate program, you have a 96,000 seats. All right, that amount of seats, and you only need one. So of course, your chances of getting in are so much more. However, when you're going for a master's program, let's say some business program that they are working on, and you try to apply to that, first, people don't see the intake. They just decide the universities for no reason. They don't have any reason. They just like the university from ever since they were a child, so they just go and apply to it. Don't do that. All right, you must see the intake. How many people do they take in, and how many people do apply, really? So there should be a balance, right? If let's say 100,000 people are applying and they're only taking 1,000 people, I mean, how low are the chances that you're going to get in? All right, so always consider that. Right, and how you consider that, how you see the intake, how you see all of these things, now I'm going to tell you about it. All right, you should also see a lot more parameters. Like I'll put up the scores, like for GMAT or GRE, whatever scores you need per university. We are working on that as well. So for instance, if you want to get into UCLA, what should be the minimum GRE scores? All right, what should be the minimum verbal score? What should be the minimum quant score? If you know that, I mean, how easy does it make your university selection? Crazy, right? So I'm building this whole thing, this whole website, where you can actually, take advantage of this data. You can take advantage of all of this data. What is the intake? Which universities suit your profile best? All right. What kind of universities, based on your grades, will take in all of your profile, and then will give you a whole list and everything. All right. Yeah, really. So basically what you have to do is you have to just go onto the website, enter your details, and sign up before that, of course. Sign up, enter your details after that, and basically it'll be like, you can filter out the universities based on your scores and everything. So it's going to be really, really easy for you. I don't know how much I can help you with university shortlisting by automation, by software, but that's the amount I am willing to move forward with it. That's the amount I'm really willing to invest in this process and give it to you, right? I want to do that for you because you've been a great community. I want to do that for you because I did not have such a resource for myself. I want to give that to you because I'll even give you the details of the financial aid directors and financial aid, whatever, everything, so you can directly contact them, right? So there's a whole lot of things coming in on this website. This is the brief look into what kind of a portal we're building. So depending on engineering, business, law school and medicine school, you can actually view the data for each of these schools, all right? How a number of students, male, female students, international students, and then there's all of these things like, you know, the application deadlines, application fee, and average admitted applicant scores like the GPA, the language scores, and, you know, the TOEFL, IELTS, average GRE scores in case of the engineering students. In case of business, it's going to be GMAT scores. In case of law, it's going to be, again, you know, LSAT scores, and in case of medicine, it's MCAT. All right. Apart from that, of course, the language scores, and then the average acceptance rate for masters and both PhD. All right. And then we have fellowships information, how many students got a fellowship for this degree, for this course. And again, you can see, you know, total number of people who are enrolled into this course, and these number of students got fellowships. So you can see the chances are pretty good over here. And apart from that, the expenses, the total tuition expenses, the living expenses, financial aid help, and, you know, the contact of the financial aid person, director of that university. So all of these things, we are doing them for you. I hope this is going to help you in your whole university shortlisting process, in your whole, you know, basically all of these things can kind of keep you away from getting 9 rejects when you send in 10 applications. All right, hopefully if you follow these, I'm also going to be building, you know, there's going to be one thing which I'm going to be building on the basis of your application. All right, you input your application into this website. All right, your work experience, how much, you know, your GPAs and all those things, you know, you just input all of that, and on the basis of that, what we're going to do is we are going to actually, you know, recommend the university. And whatever it is that I'm doing over here, it's going to be live by the end of this month, and the updates are going to be on my Instagram page. I want you to go over there and hit the follow button so that you can actually keep track of what is going on. If we have any special offers also, you can actually, you know, go on, everything will be posted over there, right? Any update about the website, when it's up, implemented, and when it's up, what is the you know, name of the website, all of these things. So I hope to see you over there, and I hope this is something that you will really look forward to. All right. But if you want actually go for this one-on-one service where I can do the SOPs for you, I can do the LORs for you, I can do the, you know, there's a whole lot of services actually. Let me pop that up. Like the GRE consultation, SOP drafting, profile evaluation, and university shortlisting, right? Creating the whole admissions preparation plan if you are, let's say, in your second year or in your third year, so you have 1 year, right? So you can create your whole admissions preparation plan with me, right? Resume help, you've seen my resume, you can do something like that, all right? Maybe LOR drafting, maybe TOEFL consultation, complete application help, you know, 7 to 8 universities you apply to, the whole portal, we will handle the whole portal for you, my team will do that for you, all right? So, and finally, the personal history, not a lot of universities ask for it, so don't worry about that if you don't know of it, all right? So there's a whole lot of services. These are the premium services. Of course, if you are, you know, just check out the free services first. I want you to check out the actual free services. Like, we're going to be implementing them very soon. I hope this video helped you out. I hope that, you know, a lot of people do not understand which universities to apply to, so maybe this video helped you out in that. And for those of you who are following me for the very first, and have seen my whole application process from my first video that I put out, like, you know, how I scored 329 on the GRE and all that stuff, thank you for being over here. I really, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. All right. So yeah, that's all of the services we're going to be providing you. Of course, we've already done that last year with the fall 2019 applicants. A lot of that are already in the universities now. And yeah, we wish you all the best. And a lot more to come, a long way to go really. But I hope to see you wherever you are. And I hope to connect with you as soon as possible. All right. Have a great day. If you have any questions, you know, message me on Instagram. My ID is always over here, and you can actually consult with me over Instagram as well. If you have any issues about the premium services, anything, you can actually contact me. We can work something out. All right. Great talking to you, and I will see you in the next video.